have left New York. We're now in New Jersey in Perth Amboy, making a quick stop at the Wawa, which has slowly become my favorite convenience store, gas station for road trips. So in Wawa, they have hot food that you can order. This is a scrambled egg burrito with applewood bacon. Got some sour cream to go with it. This is for later. Some chocolate pretzels, decent banana, which is the first time I've seen that in a while. Gotta have the hot sauce for the burrito. This is blueberry cobbler coffee. So a quick update on how things went yesterday, which was Sunday. I picked up this van, this rental car, and the plans were to go to the burger joint that's kind of a secret place. Wasn't able to get them to answer the phone, so I'm not sure if maybe they're not taking orders or maybe they were just busy, but I couldn't reach them. So I ended up driving to Manhattan with Sarah. We crisscrossed back and forth across the Manhattan and Brooklyn Bridge a couple of times. Side note, you don't have to pay to get on the Manhattan or the Brooklyn Bridge. Those are both free. You do have to pay when you're going into certain tunnels going out of New York into New Jersey, just a side note. So anyway, we did stop at Kiss My Slice Pizza, which is a place we did some work for about a year ago. And I got their pepperoni square pizza, just a slice, and it was really good. It was perfect. Had a Coke to go along with it. And so, it was just a really good way to say goodbye, one last time, and being able to drive in Manhattan. I felt like Superman, like I was flying around. It's just so much different driving there than it is, walking and taking the subway and buses. I'm sure it's a whole nother different experience if you're riding a bike, but it was a great move to get in the car and go over there and just kind of joyride. It was a great day. We had a really good time. We were out probably for 5 hours just driving around, going to see many of the sites that we've been to many times before on foot, but now driving past them. We did see a couple of protests, especially when, once we got near City Hall in Manhattan and City Hall in Brooklyn. A lot of police out. It was interesting though, because there wasn't, it wasn't typical Manhattan traffic even for a Sunday, because of things being shut down for so long and just now starting to reopen. But there was enough activity going on, especially in places like Soho, where there was a little bit of energy and buzz coming back to the city. So it was really great to see. It was good for me, kind of therapeutic almost, being able to say goodbye that way, seeing it one last time. So we're in New Jersey now. We're headed to Harrisonburg, Virginia, and that's where I'll check in next, probably in about 5 hours. So I guess this would be considered downtown Harrisonburg. Sarah found some food over here. I found a Firehouse Subs. It's kind of a ghost town. There's not much going on here. We're gonna pop in here and grab her food that she got to go. Looks like they have dine-in, which is kind of strange. They'll let me eat inside here, which is pretty cool. It's like every other seat, every other table. They have really good coffee at Krispy Kreme, by the way. I've only been out of New York City for about 24 hours. Things seem weird out here. New York is kind of in this cocoon and everything was shut down, and we hadn't really experienced social distancing in full because we weren't really getting out at all. Now we're out. We're in Virginia still. I'm at this beautiful park, and but yesterday we went to a Chick-fil-A. And you can't go in, but there's 5 or 6 spots in the parking lot for Uber and DoorDash drivers. There's several you know, Chick-fil-A mom types that are out in their vans, and they've got the back end raised up, and it's almost like they're having a tailgate party. There's it seemed like 100 employees at this location. Most of them are busy, but it's a little confusing as what to do. Even other people who were driving around that seemed like locals weren't quite sure where to drive. Is this the drive-through lane or not? At the hotel last night when I tried to check in, I couldn't get the door to open with the key. It was turning green, but it wouldn't. No, I was pressing down, it wouldn't come open. Well, you know, turns out you have to lift up. And you know, this morning I went to go pump some gas for the first time. Yes, I used some gloves. Actually, it was a plastic bag, which was a nice treat because no plastic bags in New York. They've been banned. Anyway, I got gas. Couldn't get the pay at the pump to work. It's like, I feel like a cartoon character that's joined a real action live movie. Like, you know, what was that, Enchanted, the Disney movie where the cartoon characters join the real world in New York? That's what I feel like. So I'm adjusting to it, and you know, it's a process, but this is the world we live in now, and it's different out here for sure. It's different. I'm brand loyal to a fault. And what I mean by that is, I went and rented a car from a company that tried to sue me the last time I rented a car from them. The car got lost for a little while. That's a story for another day. The Marriott is another good example. I've stayed at other hotels before. I prefer Marriott. I'll always default to that. There was that one time at Alpine Lodge. Don't recommend it. Anyway, this trip, last night's stay, not a perfect trip, not up to Marriott Courtyard standards. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is attitude. Here's what happened. There's been a couple of instances at this stay that I would say are not up to Marriott standards. And I used to work at a Courtyard, so I know what those standards are. I went through the training. Number one, you wouldn't expect to see a half a roll of toilet paper recessed from the wall like this. You wouldn't expect for the sink drain to not unstop after you've had a nice shave. You wouldn't expect the hallway to smell like cigarettes, weed, and cigars all at the same time with a permanent mounted air filtration unit. It might have been Velcroed on the wall. It's almost like this was a Motel 6 and they just recently switched it to a Marriott. But what I want, and I was almost going to complain. I'm also, you know, when you're paying well over $100 a night for a hotel, you expect certain things, and toilet paper, a full roll is one of them. They gladly gave me another roll when I went downstairs, but my initial thought was, I used to work at a Courtyard, let me go down and talk to the manager. Didn't do that. The issue with the key. We ran into a gentleman named Calvin. Now, Calvin is one of these guys that's not, he's clearly not the front desk manager. He looks like the type guy that could probably check someone in if it wasn't a big to-do, you know, if you didn't have to send over, fax over the credit card information like some people. He wouldn't be able to handle that. Pleasant as can be, though. He's the kind of guy that makes you feel like you're the only one there, and he's just there to take care of whatever you need. As soon as he found out we couldn't open the door, he's like, I'll walk him up and open it for him. Now, he's going to go with us. He's probably got other things to do. He's wearing a mask the whole time, you know, for his full shift. He's got plenty to complain about. Tips are probably down. He's probably been cut hours-wise, but he's got a pleasant smile on his face. And like I said, he's walking us around like we're the only ones in the world. We get up to the room. He knows that he's going to be able to lift up on that door and let us right in. But instead of telling us that, like the front desk manager did, he takes the initiative, the attitude of, let me go take care of this for the customer. He walks us up. Sure enough, the door opens as soon as he pulls up on the handle. I'm like, sorry to have you come up here. He's like, it's no problem. Let me know if you need anything else. This is not the manager. This guy's probably making barely over minimum wage. Later on in the day, we go to get some food. And it's takeout, so we bring it back to the room. That seemed to make the most sense. And Sarah ordered pho. And if you don't know what pho is, check with Sushi Jimmy. He'll set you up. we're not in Memphis, so we didn't have Sushi Jimmy. But anyway, she got pho. And this is a soup broth mixture. Vegans like it a lot because you can get it vegan style. And it's got all this stuff you throw in. It's really good. It's good when you're sick. It'll make you well. We're not sick. The Courtyard Marriott has a bistro. And they have bowls and forks and knives and everything else down there. When we checked in, I heard the front desk girl tell someone that the freezer had melted and the bistro was only running at 50% capacity, but Sarah needed a bowl. We didn't buy food from the bistro, we bought it out and had it, brought it back. So I was like, well, let me call down and see if they'll bring you a bowl. I know they have some. So I called down, couldn't get anyone to answer at the front desk, called the bistro. Guess who picks up the phone? Calvin, it's Ben in 319. Strange request. I know we didn't order anything, but could you bring us up a bowl? And he's like, you just need a bowl? Do you need any utensils or anything else? And I'm like, no, just a bowl. And he's like, I'll be right up. He's up there with not one bowl, but two bowls. And I don't know, he must have taken the express elevator. He dropped whatever he was doing, and maybe that was nothing. Maybe it was playing on his phone, who knows? But he was probably busy. He didn't look like the kind of guy that sits around. He was up there in an instant. And I had a tip ready for him because I like to reward good attitude. And that's what this is about, is attitude. It's not an easy time to be in the service industry. He's still happy as can be to be there. He's got a smile on his face. I like to reward that kind of attitude. Calvin's the kind of guy that is not going to be delivering bowls to room 319 for very long. He's probably not going to be working at the Courtyard for very long unless he wants to move up in the company. I love these kind of people, especially during these types of times. So to go along with keeping the attitude right, I decided, you know what, I am going to ask for the manager. Got the manager up there, got Calvin, said, listen, I've got good news and bad news. The sink is a little full of water. It's not a problem. Just might want to get the maintenance people to take a look for the next guests that come in. The good news is, if I ever come back to this city, I'm staying right here at this same hotel as long as Calvin's working here. The world needs more Calvins. Next stop is Knoxville, Tennessee. We're about 300 miles, 350, something like that. Tried to gauge this out where it was going to be about 6 hours of driving each day. So far, it's worked out great. So I have these donuts. Diet starts after 4th of July.